Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business. Here are your hosts, Anna Steinfest and Dr. Michael Troyer.
Hello, everyone. Our topic today is, what is your favorite book that helped your business grow? Hello, Michael.
Hello, Anna. Good to see you. This should be fun, everyone. I'm excited to hear what Anna tells you and to share mine.
You know, we have a long list of business books we would like to share with you. But what we decided to do is I will give you two of my top business books today, and Michael will give me his two top business books, which for our listeners, I don't know his books and he doesn't know which one I will be sharing. So I think we will have fun with that, Michael.
It is very difficult to decide to narrow it down to just two. I mean, let's be honest, we've each got a list of 25, of which we can rank order them maybe in importance, but this is tough. You going to name your first one, Anna?
Oh, you put me on the spot. And what I decided to do today for our listeners is I wanted to give you two business books. If you read it, you can implement it right away, their system. So that's why I kind of narrowed it down, because like Michael said, I can give you tons and tons of books. I read a lot, but my number one book is Pitch Anything with the author is Oren Klaff. This book is fabulous. I have read it. I have it on my Audible, and I will re-listen it every single time I have to do a pitch, because the author gives you literally the recipe of the perfect pitch, what exactly you have to include in that. And he even will go, he goes into the background of how it is, why you should use this recipe and things like that, if you would like to know the logistics and the background of this. But literally, if you read this book, it will change your life, and if you follow his recipe. So this is, I'm sorry, but as a business owners, we have to pitch our ideas all the time. We have to sell our product or services all the time. And he, again, gives you this perfect pitch recipe. So I think that is my number one, Michael. So.
And well, just picking a number one is a major challenge, but I'm going to go with something that, and I apologize, I hope all of these books are still available. If you have to go to a used book provider, so be it. But I think they're in our all-time libraries. That's why we're going this route. The one I'd pick as my first one would be something called The New Rational Manager by Charles Kepner and Benjamin Trigo. That's Kepner and Tregoe, Trigo, Kepner and Trigo. I taught from this book when I was a university professor. What strikes me is that today, it's still relevant. It's still a very useful tool for understanding basic problem solving and decision making. So it's called The New Rational Manager, but it's really all about how to identify and diagnose the problem, how to sort through the choices you have for solving it and picking the right choice. And it's basic in some ways, but it's instrumental. All my love of studying decision making and problem solving and creativity, which will be coming through in some other of my choices, all come out of the beginnings of this book. I caught fire as a young man when I read this book. In fact, when I joined a business program to teach, this was a main course they taught that everybody was required to take to understand problem solving. So it's still relevant today. I still go back to it to remind myself how it's to be done properly.
Yeah, sometimes, the current trends are pretty much the same like in the past, Michael. We just have to modify it a little bit. And some of them are, we call it evergreens. evergreen thoughts, evergreen systems. So it's very important. In fact, I jotted down, I have not read this book, imagine that. So I would like to read it. It's instrumental if you have to solve a problem. But that is my other book I wanted to share with our listeners. The name of the book is Traction, Get a Grip on Your Business. And the author is Gino Wickman. And he basically, what he essentially asks of us as a business owners is, do you control your business or does your business control you? So this is more of a problem solving handbook, I will say, for business owners. And you can go to this book over and over again, because he gives you this recipe again. As you see, I like worksheets, recipes. So you can implement within your business to be successful. And he talks about so-called entrepreneurial operating system that deals with frustration, burnout, and associated problems. So he calls this one entrepreneurial operating system, he called it EOS. So he suggests and offers 3 ways to implement this EOS system. It gives you a lot of tools and technique that will bring you a successful strategy. And it gives you step-by-step instructions. I love that fact, Michael. So that's my second book and last for today.
All right. And I like Wickman as well, because I think he gives you lots of useful tools. And, as we run a business as a small business owner, so often we get so dug in on these problems that come at us again and again all day long, we forget there's some useful tools out there. So going back to the book Traction, you'll find all kinds of tools you can use. So I really applaud that as a book, along with Anna, to use. Now, I'm keen on not only having to write out sometimes using a tool or a worksheet to get myself through a problem or a challenge, but I love visual things, and that I'm a visual person, I admit. So there was a gentleman who wrote a fun book called Unfolding the Back of the Napkin. But this is a follow-up book to the Back of the Napkin, called Blah, 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 blah. What to do when words don't work. And why I like it, it's by Dan Roam, R-O-A-M. And why I like it is he reminds me that when I use visuals, as Anna and I like to use slides, we're much more effective. You have to use them properly. You can't put too much on the visual or the slide, or people pay attention to that. I was at a presentation recently and someone used a slide, and we all stood there reading the slide and we ignored what the person was saying. So you have to be careful. But visuals help us connect very quickly with an idea if it's done right. And he has a wonderful book on understanding the visual side of problem solving or making a pitch. This covers both of the books that Anna put forth and the book that I put forth. So reading Dan Roam will tell you we don't make enough use of visual material to help us when we're pitching and when we're problem solving. I like to have a board nearby where I can write or draw or whatever things, because it gets my mind thinking in a different way. So I really like the book, and it's been fun to read it. I go back and read it every now and then. So there are 4 books to challenge you. And Anna and I would be very, very disappointed if we didn't get some comments back from you after you've read one of these, or maybe all 4, and told us that we were right or wrong, or what you liked or didn't like. That's
in fact, we would like you to share your favorite books with us, because we may put them, but probably we will put them on our podcast, because we want to learn from each other. That's what is our conversation. And that's why this podcast is all about. Business owners need to learn from business owners, because a lot of times when you read textbook, I'm sorry to say, but a lot of the authors in colleges, universities, they've never had one day in the business world. So it's always nice to receive feedback and advice from another fellow entrepreneur. And we would like to know again, what is your favorite book? Thank you, everyone.
You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.